What up my butter buns? Today's video will be a little bit different. Today's video is going to be about a game called Cloudscape, which is currently running a Kickstarter. So it's not released yet, and it's probably not going to release anytime soon. But the game is already funded, and will be releasing on Steam, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation and Xbox. Cloudscape is a game that is inspired by the Legend of Zelda, Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. And these inspirations you can heavily see back in the gameplay of Cloudscape. Cloudscape has very similar animations as Stardew, and the mines within the game also look very identical. And I know what you're all thinking. You might be thinking it's a ripoff, but there is much more to the game than that. This game aims to bring the Legend of Zelda, Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing together, to make them all into one game, so you'll be seeing features from all those three games back in Cloudscape. And if you guys want, then you can still back the project to make extra features within the game possible. They have currently raised $94,000 and there's 20 days left to back the project. Backing the project comes with different rewards depending on how much you spend. There is way too many to go through however, but here's an example. This reward costs $2,000 and allows you to design a main character in the game. I mean, it better, because that's a lot of money. As soon as they reach $100,000, the game will get extra cooking features, and if they reach more than that, then the game will gain even more features. Here is the roadmap for those that are interested. Anyway, let's get to it. Cloudscape is labeled as an open-world action-adventure survival game, with a mix of handcrafted and procedurally generated areas. It has the village romance features just like Stardew, with a very identical dialogue system / look. The game also gives you the ability to raise animals, gamble for your life in the spirit world, customize your own private island and to set up your own farm. I will say more about the spirit world and customizing your own private island in a bit. On top of all those features, there is the combat that is very similar to that in Stardew Valley, which you will be using to fight monsters that are out in the world and down in the mines. Only now, you also have combat abilities. Although they give no examples of this, so who knows what it would be like. And just like in Stardew, you can go down in a mine to get resources. The boulders and such also look very similar graphics wise. Although it does seem like Cloudscape has a little bit extra detail to it however. Cloudscape also aims to improve upon the three mentioned games. It no longer has that bothersome 2 AM sleeping clock that you had in Stardew Valley, where you had to rush home to sleep, otherwise you would pass out and lose money. In Cloudscape you can choose when you want to sleep. This is made possible by a buff and debuff system. So if you refuse to sleep, then you will get debuffed, which will affect your ability to conserve and replenish energy. And just like in Stardew, you can also forage, fish and cook your food to get the buffs. Although cooking is more advanced in Cloudscape, you have to actually use tools to cook, like an oven or a cutting board to prepare your meals, instead of just crafting a recipe in your inventory like Stardew. In Cloudscape you can also customize the island you are on, which is where you see the Animal Crossing inspiration shine through. You awaken on a sunny deserted island, your memory is fuzzy and you're unsure of how you ended up here. You will explore, gather resources and assemble a raft to get yourself back home. But you aren't alone on the island. During nighttime monsters roam the land and they will attack you as soon as they see you. You will make weapons and tools to make it through the night. And if you escape the island, well then it's just the beginning. But let's get back to the customizing of the island for now. The island is customizable in the way of terraforming. You can control water, making your own ponds or raise and flatten ground. This allows you to carve through mountains and shape the terrain to your liking. And just like in Animal Crossing, you can go catch bugs with nets, or go around the island and dig for treasures. And of course, you can customize your character by changing its body shape, faces, hairstyles and of course, wear different types of clothing. And if you get sick of your pesky island, you can hop between islands. But the world is forever changing, so your previous island might not be the way you left it if you return. Every island has its own ecosystems of flora and fauna, their own weather cycles and own climates. Now you will probably shame me for what I'm about to say, but I have never played a Zelda game, nor have I really watched anyone play it, so pinpointing the Zelda inspiration will be hard for me. But from what I do know, which isn't a lot, is that Zelda is an adventure game, so that must be the inspiration that Zelda adds. On your adventures you will meet different people that have their own different relations and rivalries. And of course you will have a lot of combat, because there is many monsters in the world that you have to fight. Monsters in Cloudscape hate the light, so you can use light to your advantage to protect yourself from the various monsters that haunt the dark. These monsters come in various shapes and forms, each having their own attacking patterns, behaviors and so forth. So they will all be posing a different challenge that you can overcome. Or at least try to overcome. There is no shame in getting your ass kicked once in a while. If you do get your ass kicked and die, then you don't just pass out and wake up unharmed. In Cloudscape, your spirit will be sent to Limbo, a wild and extraordinary realm, where you have to win a game with death itself to become alive again. I think it's quite an interesting concept, although I wonder what happens if you fail. Do you just die and start over, or do you then wake up unharmed anyway? Before I forget to mention it, you can also have a pet along in the game, which can keep you company, help in combat and provide you with utility, whatever that means. Cloudscape is being made by one guy, just like Stardew Valley was. It's being made by Chris Goffron. He created a one-man studio called Konitama LSC to work on this game. According to his LinkedIn, he has a lot of experience with animation. And in his description it also says he's experienced with game design and development. Now I don't use LinkedIn myself, but I'm pretty sure you can write and add whatever experience you want without it being true. Before you get mad, I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying you have to be careful with every Kickstarter project you back and take everything with a grain of salt. I personally think this game looks really promising and refreshing, and I'm looking forward to see where this game will go. What do you guys think? Do you guys have faith in the project or no? Let me know in the comments down below. And from what I've seen, the dev seems to want to try and make the game in a playable state in July 2023. This is based off of the estimated delivery of the Kickstarter rewards. This would most likely be some form of early access however, and if you want to follow the game, they can wishlist it on Steam. I will also be leaving a link to the Kickstarter in the description down below. There, I finally said it correctly, last time I said in the comments down below. Like, why would I be posting a link in the comments? Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you found this video helpful, then don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe, because we're best friends. And as always, thanks for watching.